It was 1967, deep in the Central Highlands of Vietnam. The war had taught us fear, but nothing could prepare us for what was waiting in the jungle. Something watching us, something we were never meant to see. I remember stepping into the Central Highlands like stepping into another world. The jungle pressed in on all sides, thick and suffocating, with mist hanging low over the ridges. Every tree and vine seemed alive, and every rustle of leaves set my nerves on edge. The morning light barely penetrated the canopy, leaving the forest floor in a dim, muted green. My boots sank into the mud with every step, squelching as if the jungle itself was swallowing us whole. Our squad moved in tight formation. 6 men, rifles raised, eyes scanning every shadow. Even the veterans, men who had survived ambushes, mines, and firefights, kept glancing nervously over their shoulders. The air was thick and humid, carrying the smell of wet earth, rotting leaves, and something I couldn't name, something old, heavy, almost alive. It set my teeth on edge. Every sound felt amplified, the drip of water from leaves, the distant cry of a bird, the snap of a twig somewhere unseen. We had trained for combat, for firefights and ambushes, but nothing could prepare you for the Central Highlands. The jungle wasn't just terrain, it had its own rhythm, its own intelligence. The branches overhead groaned with every gust of wind, and shadows shifted in ways that made my mind race. Was that a branch falling, or something moving between the trees? My pulse quickened with every uncertain step. I could feel eyes on us. I didn't see them yet, but I could sense them, watching, judging, waiting. My fingers were wrapped tightly around the rifle, knuckles white. The men whispered to each other, careful not to break the silence. Every instinct told me to stop, to scan, to listen. The jungle seemed to move around us, a living maze, constantly changing, hiding its secrets in the fog and shadows. Then I heard it. A low, guttural growl that rolled through the trees, vibrating through my chest. My heart leapt into my throat. It wasn't like any animal sound I'd ever heard. Too deliberate, too heavy, too intelligent. The squad froze, and we all strained to locate it. The growl came again, closer this time, accompanied by the sound of heavy footsteps moving through the underbrush. Not human, not any known wildlife. Something else was out there, watching, waiting. I swallowed hard and forced myself to keep moving. Every step felt like walking into a trap. Every shadow seemed to stretch longer than it should. The fog shifted unnaturally, hiding movements just beyond sight. My mind tried to rationalize it, maybe exhaustion, paranoia, stress, but deep down, I knew we weren't alone. This jungle had eyes, and they were following us. By the time we reached a small clearing, soaked from the humidity and caked in mud, the squad paused to catch our breath. The forest around us was quiet, almost deceptively calm. But I knew better. The Central Highlands didn't forget, and it didn't forgive. Whatever was watching us would continue to do so, silently, waiting. And as we moved deeper into that dense, unforgiving green, I realized one thing. We were no longer just soldiers on a mission. We were intruders in a world older than any battle we'd fought, and some of its hunters were still waiting in the shadows.
The jungle was thick, darker now, and the fog seemed to deepen with every step. My squad had moved cautiously for hours, alert for the usual hazards, VC patrols, hidden traps, or sudden ambushes. But there was something else, something I couldn't put into words, that made the hair on my neck stand on end. Every shadow seemed to stretch unnaturally. Every rustle of leaves sounded deliberate almost. Intelligent. Then it happened. A rock smashed into the dirt just inches from my foot. I jumped back instinctively, rifle raised. The others froze as well, eyes wide, scanning the surrounding trees. The angles didn't make sense. There was no one there, or at least, no human could have thrown it from the thick canopy above. My chest pounded as the wind shifted, carrying the faint, low hum of a growl. Slow, deep, calculated.
I was the first to catch it, a flash of rust-colored fur among the branches. At first, I thought it was a gibbon, maybe a langur, but the size didn't match anything I had ever seen. Larger, broader shoulders, muscular, and it was standing upright. Not crouched, not swinging, just standing, watching. Its eyes glowed amber in the faint morning light filtering through the mist. I froze, unable to look away, feeling an instinctive recognition that this was not a normal animal. "Move," I whispered to the squad, but my voice shook. We tried to inch forward, rifles ready. Another rock slammed into the dirt nearby. The creature didn't flinch. Then it let out a scream, a sound that tore through the jungle and rattled the trees. Not a human scream, not an animal scream. Something in between. The kind of sound that burrows into your chest and leaves you raw, trembling. I remember the others yelling, calling for the squad to regroup. But the creature didn't move. Not yet. It was intelligent, deliberate, aware of our movements. Then I noticed the others, 2 more of them, appearing almost from nowhere, moving between the trees with unnatural grace, circling us, testing us, not attacking but observing. I could feel the weight of their gaze, felt as if the forest itself had turned against us. The squad held fire. I could barely breathe, heart hammering. I wanted to run, wanted to scream, but something rooted me in place. I knew that if we made a mistake, if we panicked, we'd be at the mercy of whatever this was. The air smelled of wet leaves, mud, and something else, something metallic, sharp, like iron. Every instinct screamed, leave. But curiosity, the soldiers' need to see, kept me staring. And then it vanished. Just like that. One moment it was there, amber eyes locked on me, arms swinging slightly, muscles tense. Then the fog swallowed it. The other 2 had disappeared as well. The jungle returned to its eerie, deceptive calm. We stood there for a long moment, shaking, drenched, listening to the soft drip of condensation from the leaves. No birds. No gibbons. Just silence. I knew we had seen something no one would believe. Something that didn't belong. Whatever it was intelligent, deliberate, and still out there, watching, waiting. And in that moment, I realized we weren't just soldiers in enemy territory anymore. We were intruders in a world that had its own hunters, and they had been here long before us. The jungle had grown darker, heavier, as if the very trees were pressing down on us. The fog had thickened, curling through the underbrush like a living thing, obscuring our view and swallowing the sounds of our movement. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves, made me flinch, my heart hammering like a drum. It was no longer just tension. It was fear, raw and suffocating, a weight pressing against my chest. We had tried to retreat after the first encounter, edging back through the mud and roots, keeping our rifles trained on the shadows. But the rock apes didn't let us go. The rocks continued to hit the ground around us, thrown with precision and an eerie intelligence. Each one landing with a thud that echoed through the mist, bouncing off trees, leaving us disoriented and terrified. I could hear my squadmates' shallow, panicked breaths, the low whisper of desperate commands, but nothing seemed to matter. The jungle was alive with them. Then I saw it, the largest of the 3, stepping into a faint shaft of moonlight that managed to pierce the canopy. Easily 7 feet tall, rust-colored hair matted from the humidity, chest broad, arms hanging nearly to its knees. Its head tilted slowly, eyes glowing amber in the darkness, fixed on us like it could see every thought racing through my mind. I wanted to raise my rifle, to shoot, to do anything, but the moment stretched and froze. Time itself seemed to stall. It let out a scream, low at first, a sound that began in its chest and rolled through the trees, bouncing and echoing, tearing through the night. I had never heard anything like it. Not human, not animal, something beyond comprehension, something that clawed at the corners of reason and sanity. My stomach twisted as the sound vibrated in my chest. And yet, it was not panicked. It wasn't screaming in fear or anger. It was a warning, a statement of presence, a declaration. You are mine. The other 2 appeared silently, moving with unnatural grace through the trees, their amber eyes catching what little moonlight there was. They didn't charge, didn't attack outright. They circled us, testing us, judging us. It was like being surrounded by predators that were smarter than any human, calculating, deliberate, unafraid. Each rock that hit nearby reinforced that message. We are in control. You are prey. We tried to retreat again, keeping our backs to each other, rifles ready, voices hushed. Every step was a potential mistake, every rustle a potential death sentence. I could feel sweat dripping down my temples, my boots sinking into the thick, sucking mud. My breathing was shallow, every inhale and exhale loud in the silence that stretched between the creature's growls and the splatter of rocks. Then, it came closer. The largest rock ape stepped down from a low branch, moving silently despite its size. Its amber eyes locked on mine. I could see the muscle in its arms tense, the deliberate sway of its massive shoulders. For a moment, I felt nothing but awe and terror, a primal fear that stole my words and my breath. I realized that it wasn't just observing us. It was toying with us, testing our reactions, gauging our limits. And just like that, the fog swallowed them. One by one, the shadows of the creatures vanished into the mist, leaving us standing in silence, shaken, drenched in sweat and mud. The rocks no longer fell, the growls faded, and the jungle returned to a deceptive calm. But the memory lingered. The amber eyes, the scream that rattled my soul, the intelligence that no animal should possess. By the time we found a small clearing, dawn was still hours away, and the sense of being watched didn't fade. Whatever we had faced that night was still out there, patient, powerful, and in control. And in the darkness of the Central Highlands, I realized a hard truth. The rock apes weren't just a threat. They were something older than war, older than the soldiers who stumbled into their world, a predator that had been waiting for intruders like us long before we ever set foot in the jungle. I knew something was wrong long before anyone admitted it. You spend enough time in the Central Highlands, you learn the difference between silence and danger. But that morning, the jungle wasn't quiet, it was watching. It felt like being inside a cage someone forgot to lock, with the predator already circling. We moved in a staggered column, weapons up, senses stretched thin. Sweat ran down my neck, mixing with dust and gun oil. I tried to focus on the map in my hand, but my instincts wouldn't shut up. Something was pacing us, matching our speed, staying just far enough to stay unseen. At first it was branches snapping, too heavy to be monkeys, too deliberate to be random. Then came the movement. Shadows shifting where no shadows should be. Trees trembling even when the wind died. The jungle had weight to it, like it was holding its breath.
Lieutenant, you hearing this? Corporal Reeves whispered behind me. I nodded without turning. Eyes open. Keep spacing. Another snap, sharp, fast, close. Private Ortiz flinched and swung his M16 toward the tree line. Easy, I said. No one fires unless I say. But the truth, my finger had already slipped inside the trigger guard. The air stank of sweat, fear, and something else, something musky, animal, but powerful, like a wet dog mixed with rotting vegetation. We pushed deeper into a narrow ravine. The terrain forced us into single file, steep walls rising on both sides. Every instinct screamed, "Don't go in there." But we didn't have a choice. The jungle pushed us forward like a funnel.
Then we saw it, just for a second. A massive silhouette moved between the trees. Thick shoulders, long arms, upright, taller than any man I'd ever seen. Covered in dark, matted hair. It paused, staring at us, its outline framed by shafts of sunlight. Yellowish eyes reflecting like glass. Then it vanished. No rustling, no crashing, nothing. Just gone.
Negative hallucination, Reeves whispered, but I could hear the tremor in his voice. Has to be. Before anyone could process it, another roar sounded, this time behind us. Something big was circling. Fast. Ortiz raised his weapon. "Sir, permission to." "Negative," I snapped. "We don't know how many." Branches cracked. Feet pounded the ground. Heavy, fast, impossibly coordinated. They weren't wandering. They were encircling. "Lieutenant," Ray said, his voice cracking, "they're hunting us." He wasn't wrong. Suddenly a rock slammed into Private Nolan's helmet, knocking him to the dirt. Before he could get up someone rushed the edge of the ravine. A massive arm swung out from the brush and struck him across the back, lifting him off the ground.
The impact sounded like a baseball bat hitting a watermelon. Nolan screamed as he hit the mud. Contact left. I shouted. But whatever hit him was already gone, melting back into the foliage like smoke. My heart hammered. This wasn't random. This wasn't a curious animal. This was coordinated, intelligent aggression. Something tugged the branches above. I looked up and froze. A huge, ape-like face stared down from the canopy. Its lips curled back, showing human-like teeth stained dark. Its breath blew hot and foul across my face. Before I could raise my rifle, it disappeared upward with impossible speed. The ravine exploded with noise. Growls. Footsteps. Rocks slamming into trees. The shriek of something massive tearing through vegetation. We were being herded.
Driven. Played with. My men closed in tight, guns shaking in their hands. Stay together, I shouted. Form a perimeter. The gunfight had ended, but the jungle still felt alive with movement. Not the heavy, coordinated stalking we'd endured for hours, but something quieter, observational. The way scavengers linger after a battle, waiting to see who's still breathing. We had lost Reyes and Nolan. Their bodies lay where they fell, covered with ponchos. Reeves was hit bad, deep bites and lacerations across his shoulder and ribs, and Ortiz's leg was mangled from being slammed against a tree. We had triaged them as best we could, but our medical supplies were nearly gone. My own hand shook as I tightened a tourniquet around Ortiz's thigh. Lieutenant, they're not coming back, right? Ortiz whispered through clenched teeth. I didn't answer. The truth was ugly. The rock apes didn't fight like wild animals. They fought like a coordinated pack, ambush, pressure, retreat, repeat. They tested the perimeter. They probed weak points. They attacked in silence when they wanted to. We had survived the last assault only because the M60 finally forced them to break contact. But they weren't gone, just regrouping. And we couldn't stay here. I grabbed the radio handset from the RTO pack, now strapped to my own shoulders after Reyes fell, and keyed up the mic. Phoenix 2-1 requesting immediate dust-off, priority evac, multiple wounded, hostile engagement, non-human threats, unknown nature. I paused. Grid coordinates, edge 6429. Static wash through the speaker. Then, finally, copy 2-1. Bird inbound. 15 mics. 15 minutes. 15 minutes in the Central Highlands might as well be a lifetime. Reeves shifted beside me, blood soaking through his torn fatigues. Lieutenant, he rasped, they'll come back. You know that, right? I did. The rock apes never launched a single attack. They hit in waves, wearing you down, waiting for fear to slow your reactions. They didn't just attack, they hunted. Territory, dominance, survival. Whatever the motive, we were still inside their world on their timetable. My men tightened the perimeter. Rifles up, breathing shallow. Even the jungle seemed to brace for the next hit. The first sign came in the tree line. A branch snapped. Low, heavy, deliberate, clutching his leg. Please, Lieutenant, tell me that was a deer. It wasn't a deer, Reeves muttered. Another snap. Then another. Then the deep, rhythmic thud of footsteps, more than one, closing in on our flank. I raised my rifle, heart hammering. From the right came a guttural roar, the same thunderous chest-deep sound we had heard hours before, but closer. Much closer. The remaining rock apes had regrouped. They were coming. Hold your fire until you see movement, I whispered. Make every round count. Leaves trembled. Shadows shifted. Something massive brushed against the undergrowth, pushing toward us. The jungle erupted. A dark shape burst through the foliage, barreling on all fours before rising upright, a towering wall of muscle and matted hair. Its mouth was open in a deep, bellowing roar. I squeezed the trigger and fired controlled bursts. Reeves fired beside me, blood loss forgotten in raw survival instinct. Rounds punched into the creature's chest, but it kept moving, slower now, swaying, arms swinging wide like it wanted to grab one of us even as it died. Finally, 3 rounds into the throat, dropped it. The body hit the ground so heavily the earth shook. The other shadows retreated instantly. No counterattack, no probing shots, just a retreating chorus of low grunts fading into the distance. They're regrouping again, Reeves said. No, I whispered, not regrouping. The sound rising over the ridge wasn't roaring. It was rotor blades. A helicopter appeared above the canopy, kicking up leaves and debris as it hovered into position. Smoke out, I shouted. Ortiz cracked a purple smoke grenade and tossed it into the clearing. The crew chief signaled from the open door, shouting at us to move. Go! Move! Move! We lifted Reeves first. He screamed through clenched teeth as we hauled him into the bird. Ortiz followed, dragged aboard by the crew. As the helicopter climbed over the canopy, I watched the tree line shrink beneath us. The jungle looked calm from above, peaceful, almost beautiful. But I knew what was really down there. Blood on the leaves, bodies of good men, and something else. Something no one outside our squad would ever believe. The crew chief tapped my shoulder, shouting over the rotors, "You boys run into NVA or something else." I opened my mouth, but no words came. I didn't know how to answer. The truth didn't fit inside any military report. Instead, I just stared out across the endless screen. That's when Reeves, half-conscious, soaked in blood, grabbed my wrist with surprising strength. "LT," he whispered, voice trembling, "tell them not to go back. Please." They weren't done with us. Before I could respond, the helicopter suddenly lurched. Everyone grabbed onto something. The pilot cursed. "What the?" Hitting turbulence from below. Something's messing with the air pocket. I leaned out of the door slightly, looking down through the fading smoke. And that's when I saw it. A shape in the trees. Massive. Upright. Still watching us. But it wasn't the size that froze my blood. It was the red cloth hanging from its hand. A torn scrap of one of our squad's bandanas. Fresh. The creature lifted it slowly. Like a warning. Or a promise. Then it turned and disappeared into the jungle without a sound. The crew chief yelled for me to strap in, but I couldn't move. My heartbeat hammered in my ears as the truth hit me cold and hard. This wasn't over. Not even close. The Central Highlands weren't finished with us. And whatever lived down there now had a reason to come looking.